What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be doing AC/DC, the chorus. This is going to be for Back in Black. If you're looking for the intro riff, I have that in part 1. I'll leave that in the description below. Let's go ahead and grab your acoustic or electric and let's get started. All right, guys, if you watched part 1 of this, you know the majority of these chords, but we're going to run them real quick because there's not too many. The course is actually fairly simple. As a beginner, intermediate, or advanced, you should be able to play this just fine. So, with the first chord, we got an A5. An A5 power chord is going to be the open A string, first finger, fret 2, and then everything else is muted. You want to kind of mute these out with the first finger when you're playing, if you can, by when you press down on that second fret, you're touching these notes and muting them with your first finger. Now, if you can't do that, the biggest thing is just don't full strum all these notes. You just want to hit 5 and 4. And the 6th string I'm muting with my thumb. With the fat part, with the fingerprint area, I'm touching down on that string for the 6th. So I'm muting it out. So I'm only playing with A and D strings, those two notes. Now I'm going to do a quick snap over to E5. E5 is going to be 6th string open, first finger, 2nd fret, 5th string. Now, first power chord is going to be a B5 power chord. First finger, fret 2, go 1 fret, 2 frets up, 1 finger. Ring finger is going to be 1 string up. Pinky is going to be under that one. So we got these 3 notes, 5, 4, and 3 strings. So we got first one's A, E, B. If you can't get that far, you want to practice it nice and slow and evenly. Listen to how I play this. Again. Now, some people may be okay with these two, but then they kind of shuffle on that one. So what you want to do is slow down everything evenly, and you want to try to get the shape of the chord before you press it. So watch how I do this. Oh, wrong chord. There it is. Let's try that again one more time. That time I looked. I made sure I looked to hit the right chord. But that's where you want to start, and that might take you a day or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Just remember, as a beginner, you may need more time. That's fine. Just take your time developing the right skill set. Now, after that, we got an A chord by just taking our first finger off the fret. We're going to be holding these 2 notes down from the B chord. Just take your finger off, and you're going to play 5, 4, 3 strings again. So we got back to B5. Again, beginning. Okay, now, once you can do that, you're going to do that 2 times in a row before you go to the next section. So that goes like this. Again. Now, what's most important about this to develop the skill is notice how I'm connecting all the notes. I'm not doing this. Notice how I'm stubbing the notes out. You don't want to stub these notes out. You want to learn to connect them. By connecting them, that's how you make everything sound exactly like the song. There's no dead space. 1 time, twice. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Halfway done. Now we're going to jump into a G chord. And if you're not ready, watch that first part of the video many times, practice along, pick up little things as you watch it through and play and play and play. But now for the second half of it, we're going to jump into a G chord. Now, some people play without the first finger. Some people play just the top end. I'm going to teach this just with a regular G chord, and we're going to add that ring finger because most people just play with 3. I want you to start using that ring finger. It makes it sound nice and full, and they do it in the song. So G chord, middle finger, 3rd fret, 6th string, 1st finger, 2nd fret, 5th string. Everything else is open until we get to string 1 and 2, so it's going to go like this. Ring finger now, 2nd string, 3rd fret, and pinky, you're going to make a little space for it right under on string 1, fret 3. So we got 3 fingers, fret 3, 6, 2, and 1 strings. 1st finger is the only one that's not on there, and it's going to be on fret 2, string 5. So while doing that, this is how it sounds. Now, the trick to playing the G chord, if you can't play it right from this chord area from the previous, so into that G, you're going to want to just practice this chord, which is a B5, to the jump for that transition. That'll be the first step to do anything with it. So back, again. Get real comfortable with that if you're going to be working transitions, okay? So after you get that, you feel okay, then G chord. Just refreshing my brain. We're going to go into a D major chord. Now, in the previous lesson, I did explain a D major, but let's go through it real quick. D major, 1st finger, fret 2, string 3. We're going to have the 4th string open, by the way. 1st finger, fret 2, string 3. Ring finger, fret 3, string 2. Middle finger, fret 2, string 1. So these two on fret 2, this one fret 3. So from the G chord, right there. So listen now how I rake these. Now I'm strumming them, but I'm more of like trying to make them sound nice and full by strumming like this. Listen to this. You don't want to do this. That's wrong. You want to let the notes breathe a little bit. Okay, now if you're practicing from the transition into that, it'll go like this. So we're coming from the last note of the previous part, which is a B5. Now notice how quick those chords come. It's going to go G to D. If you can't play it that fast, fine. Take it slow. And same thing, if you get all kind of off with these fingers like that, you want to just take your time and just learn to work on these formations. It may take you a couple weeks. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Take your time. So now we're going back into your A5 chord. So from D, we're going to A5. Oh, what happened to my string? I felt like it popped there for a second. Okay, so G to D to A5. Now, this next part, I didn't really go over the A too much. You already can play the A. We come from the A, we're going to this little micro bend. Now, what is a micro bend? A bend is when you do kind of like, when you're pulling the string fully down. This one's a pinch of a bend. It's not that much. We're going to be taking from this A5 chord, we're going to reach up with our middle finger to fret 3, string 6 on this G note. And we're going to give it just a little nudge. Just that much. Maybe it's a half step, maybe it's less than a half step of a bend, but once you get this effect, you're going to snap right back into A5. So it's going to go A5, G, right back into it. So I think you should practice that just separate alone until you feel comfortable. A5, G note, A5. Now the trick is to tie the notes together. Notice how there's always sound. I went A5 and right when I hit the G, I let go of the A5. I'm not holding it down. Did my little micro bend and then right back snap into A5. So A5, G, A5. So now taking that from the beginning of the second half goes like this. G chord, rake it, D chord, rake it, A5, G, back to A5. It's going to happen twice. So Again. So now, those are our two primary sections of this chorus. So let's put that all together from the beginning real quick, just to recap everything. So 2 of the first half, 2 of the second half. So here we go. Now we're going to start working towards the end of this chorus. Now we're going to go back to the beginning section, A5. Again. Now we have a tail end for this section. Okay, this one's different than the rest of it. Okay, so we did first section twice, second section twice, first section twice. Now we're going to change. We're going to go G chord for 5. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Some people teach it with just 1 strum. Some people teach it with 3. I'm going to do 5. I know in the song they do more, but I'm just going to keep it nice and even. It's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. D, D, D. Now the D, 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 we're going to stop the notes. Notice the G's nice and linked. Now the D chord, you're going to go strum, stop, and on the third one, you'll let it ring out. So the way I stop these is I take my pressure off the string when I strum them. I don't take them fully off, but I just take the pressure off a little bit. But I also, with the right hand, is I stop the notes. So if you look at both hands together, you can see I'm doing 2 things. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, D, D. All right, so now I'm going to play this at a medium pace. If need be, you can always go to the settings and change the speed to slower or faster, but I'm going to keep it at a medium pace because I want you to practice this nice and even before you speed up. Now, if you can't play it, once again, you can always just play these in sections, okay? You don't have to keep up with me right now. This is something that may take you time to work into. There's nothing wrong with that. Take your time and grow as a musician. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright guys, that is it for this guitar lesson video. I hope you enjoyed it as always. And if you need more help with guitar lessons or anything like that, I'm a guitar instructor through video chat. I also teach piano as well. You could reach me at mountainsideguitar.com. I teach everything from scales to chords to theory to any kind of thing like that for both instruments. Thank you for watching. And as always, I'll see you on the next guitar lesson video.